Hello! That was a very non-smooth transition of music and video. What's up, everybody? Hey, programming with JavaScript, how are you? I think you even heard me receive an email, like the bloom, whatever noise it is, because there's like this thing that I don't know, the way the settings work is that you hear the sound of my computer or like my system as well as everything else. So just so you know, it was my email, not yours. I'm a little bit tired today, so I'm gonna keep it straight to the point as much as I can. I'm gonna show you the changes that I did on the weekend as promised. And what else? Oh yeah, why we're streaming today? Because tomorrow I need to go to the office. Yeah, and today I had a 6-hour meeting. So that's the state. And we're gonna do something with it. Also, just like my eyes are getting tired, so I don't think that's ideal for recovery. But yeah, I'm still thinking if I should just like not move like the streams around, but just like freaking take a proper time off break, even though I did, but you know, I still would need some time. So let me know if you're very dependent on this project or if it's okay to take a break. I mean, it is okay to take a break, but I also don't want to kind of like leave you hanging, you know, because this project has been going for a while now. But hopefully we could just like get it done-ish until the next chapter. So then it's kind of like wrapped with whatever we have. And then once I decide what's what, we can continue to the advanced part. Because we still have, we need to do like JavaScript heavy lifting stuff with filters and things. As well as we need to do still state things for our little shopping cart. And I think it would make sense if those parts are going to be kind of like stable-ish in terms of streaming time, and my availability. So yeah, I think that's what I'm comfortable with, and I think that's what we're gonna go with. But again, if you have any suggestions, ideas, hit me up. Also feel free to do it on Instagram, because there I'm more active. Although today I didn't even have the chance to even like check it properly. Like I checked, it's just like the first people that I had there like quickly, and then just like, I don't know, it's a crazy day. And tomorrow is gonna be another crazy day, and then another crazy day, and I'm gonna have like 2 crazy weeks at work as well. So yeah, you know, probably not gonna tease you with streams because it's like it doesn't make sense, you know. If I cannot give you the 100%, then why? Or even like the 90, right? Yeah, I also need to take care of myself. So anyway, doesn't matter. Hi people, hello. I see several of you already here. Norma saying, hi Dana, happy to see you here too. Programming with JavaScript is asking, are you from Germany? I am currently based in Germany, yes. And streaming from Berlin. I don't know why it made me so excited. But yeah. Oh, Hack. Hi Donna, great to see you on YouTube. Hey, welcome back. I was just talking about that I am I don't know when's gonna be the next, not that I don't know when it's gonna be the next stream. I don't know if there's gonna be one on Thursday because of all the workload that I have and stuff to do. So that's that. Anyhow, shall we get to the project? And also let me know, how are you? How you been doing today, yesterday? How was your weekend? Because I did some stuff for the project on the weekend. So, and I'm kind of excited to show you what I did. It's nothing like super over the top, but you know, it required some researching for images, then some Figma and vector stuff, then some Photoshop here and there. So yeah, no biggie but biggie. How was your vacation? Stressful. It wasn't really a vacation. It was just I just had to have a break because I was in another country where I could not stream from because I didn't have all my setup. But yeah, I need a vacation from that vacation. That's kind of the state. And that's why, so I actually took a week off after. So there's like YouTube vacation and then there is real life vacation. So real life vacation wasn't really a vacation. And now I do need a vacation. So my plan is also actually, wait, let me open the calendar, is to have, wait. So like my last thing about this whole like craziness should be done in 2 Tuesdays. It's gonna be like the deciding moment of my life in Germany. So after that, I wanna like go somewhere and just like forget about this whole mess. And then I'll be back, you know? I might release in between a video of an API because I asked you on the community tab on my channel. I think it also pops up in the feed. Sorry. I asked if you would like to have a project with an API, which is kind of like a game project. And many people have voted yes. So I would be happily working on that. I actually started working on that. And it's a little bit easier to work off screen on some projects, right? Because you don't need to like have the whole setup. Don't need to like, you know, it's a different movie. I can do it in bed, basically. But yeah. Sorry, my throat is already there. So what I meant with what I was saying is that even though there might be a break from like the live streaming, I still might release a surprise video with some API game coding. So that's the plan. Hey, Hex Control. Hey, how are you? Programming with JavaScript is asking, are you using GraphQL in the project? Nope, we are not using GraphQL in the project. Our project is using a REST API. So we didn't choose, I don't know, basically we chose first the type of the API rather than the technology of the API. So, and REST APIs have a special place in my heart. Akindu saying WordPress plus Next.js, what do you think? Whatever works. I mean, it's like, I don't have any like flaming opinion on that, I guess. What do you think? Why do you choose that? So, as I said, we're taking things a little bit slow, but still like very to the point. Hey, Mr. Brown, what kind of game would it be? Well, I guess you'll just have to see and wait. Wait and see. Yeah, it's gonna be something not super complicated. So I know that sometimes the APIs, so the API challenges that I have, they are of different levels, right? They start like from the beginning and then they advance a little bit. In this one, I would like to have several levels. So basically you can start out as like very beginning, very basic, but then if you wish to challenge yourself, then you can continue with the video, or at least that's what I have planned in my head, but I need to see how it kind of like, yeah, how it's being done when it's actually in the work. Hi, Gigi, how are you? Alrighty, let's, let me show you what I did on the weekend. There we go. So, you see here we have like a new, words are very hard today. What is it? a new media, a new image, a new graphics. We used to have like a very weird not transparent background image, so it had like borders. Now we don't have it. We have a leaf with that is like a PNG, so you don't have the borders of an image, you know, like the square one. And then I put on top some cream products that I found for free on like some prototype websites. Also very important to check if you can use those things, even though I know that this is kind of like just like a study project. So if you would use some other images for your project, I think that would be fine. But for me, giving you images that are licensed, that are not allowed to be like, I don't know, for usage, because I think YouTube is considered commercial usage. So yeah, that's why I had to create my own kind of like assembly of stuff. And here we have our top products that we're getting. And then I created this one. If you remember, it used to be pink. And once I added these creams, and I don't know what this thing is, I assume it's like a powder or some kind. Like I'm struggling to imagine which like product of care, like care product it can be that is not like cosmetical makeup. So I'm not sure, but not the point. So once I put those, I also assembled them. They're just like their own image, all the three of them. And once it was like on the pink background, it didn't really make sense. So I decided to use the green color, which we actually already have in our... Where do we use it? We don't actually use it anywhere here, but if we go to our Tailwind config, then if you remember, we put some colors that we were using because we also agreed on a color scheme for our project. And surprise, surprise, we did have a green there. And that's what I chose, basically. So green was there, decided to use that. Pink is also there. So you can really change it as you want. It's not that you have to use the green. If you prefer the pink, that's fine too. You could actually do the buttons green or pink and then this yellow. Play with it as you want. If you want to change some stuff and just like see how things work, where they come from, and you know, just like to play around with it yourself. Maybe you can also add like hover states that are not like this. Maybe this can be pink or maybe not. Don't do like yellow to pink or yellow to green. That's probably going to be confusing, but you know what I mean. It's all for you. And as well, if you want to code with me right now, or if you want to check out the code that we have, it's all on GitHub. It's all in the description box right here below. And you have also other links there. The UI made by Piotr Medycki, which we found on Behance, which is this, our reference point. And as well, the Makeup API links. So make a multiplayer game using Socket.io plus React. So I'm doing videos for my API challenges. Let me show you for this one. And the point is to use APIs. So maybe a multiplayer game, Socket.io and React can be fun, but my focus here is to help kind of like get projects with APIs, help maybe see how different agents work and what's the response, what's like response codes, what are errors and things like that. Which for me, in my opinion, this is something that I deal with daily at work. And this is something that a web developer should really know and get more familiarized with, rather than doing like focusing on, I don't know, I'm gonna shame again the to-do list, but to-do list is also very valid, but it's not only to-do lists, right? So yeah, that's why I chose an API with React where we can play a game that I invented. It's actually not a game API. I created the game from the API, so doesn't matter. Are you using JS6 styling? No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of it. What we do here, we're using Tailwind CSS, right? So our typical component looks like this. We have our class names from Tailwind CSS, JS6 styling, so style components. You mean probably they would be somewhere here with the styling, but we don't do that. And if we do want to have some custom CSS, then we also have our regular CSS file that we can import. And that's how we use it. You import it, and then there we go. So no JS6. I'm not a fan. What else? So the changes that I made were quite... Oh, you know what I also made? I changed this. It used to be very long and very big, and the layout was a little bit meh because, you know, like usually you don't have a title of like 4 paragraphs, right? Not 4 paragraphs, 4 lines, rows. So I changed it to the Makeup e-commerce project and stated what we're gonna learn here or work with. And this is just like a placeholder if you want to use it or fill up with your information. If you're gonna be putting this on your portfolio, then that would be nice. Those are actually names of startups or companies. You see there is like Twitter, Etsy, Reddit, Kiko. What else do we know? Spotify, Hulu, Tumblr. I don't know anything else. Hacker is saying, I have already made a multiplayer game using Flask and Electron.js. I think this is funny. Yeah, so those are projects that are for fun, right? And I think like there is nothing bad about having those projects as long as you're having fun, you're learning, everything is awesome. I just meant that in my frame of my project of the API challenges, I have like another focus. So what can we do today? We could maybe have some fun with our about page, because then what we only have left is the search page. So you see things are changing, right? Things are changing here and here. So search, then I click on about, it's about and about. So if we do the about page today and just like have a chat, then the search is what we're gonna do once I resume the streamings, because then, you know, it's gonna be easier not to be like distracted with things. You know what I mean? Okay. So let me what? I'm just checking the time because, you know, remember I have the drops that I need to put in my eyes, schedule. So let's meet in 4 minutes back and we're gonna be doing the about page. Deal? See ya in just a bit. Alrighty, so programming with JavaScript says, suppose A is main component, B and C are header and footer component. If I were storing data in C component through Context API, are we able to access data in A main component? So you need to define where your Context API is wrapping, right? I'm gonna have a stream about Context API once we're a little bit more in the shopping cart. But the main thing that your data can be accessed anywhere as long as it's within the tag of the Context API. So there's no reason why it wouldn't be available there. I mean, if it's wrapped. So what did I say we're gonna do? I said we're gonna do the about page, and we can do the about page like in a really kind of like landing page thingy, you know what I mean? So it's really simple. We can play with some layout, and we can just do, you know, just like some moving pieces on our static website. Are you familiar with Apollo Client 3 local and reactive variables? Yes, I'm familiar with Apollo Client. I don't know if 3 is a separate version, like if it's something special about it, but yeah, I know Apollo Client. So are you just asking it for fun or for like some specific reason? Okay, so let's go to our about page. There's our about. That's what we see. It's very, very tiny, nothing much going on there. So what are we gonna do? Should we search for some like inspirations of landing page design, for example, just to see what they offer us? So we want an about page. What would we include on the about page? Probably something about the company, right? Let me write it down, what we can include here. Company info. Probably like, I don't know, something inspiring, right? Then what else can we add? Maybe some numbers, facts. What else? Probably an image of happy people, because that's always a selling point, right? What else do we have? Yeah, so you see, this is kind of like the structure we're gonna be going for. And maybe after that we can have some Imprint, which is actually a must in Germany. You cannot really have a business without an imprint. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but in Germany it's a no-no if you don't have it on your website. Company info, numbers, facts, image of happy people, imprint, maybe some articles to read, blog links, something like that. So that would be kind of like this, if you see my mouse. I'm gonna open it just to have it. So kind of like that, you know? That's gonna be our about page. I mean, our main page is also sort of a landing page, right? But this one I wanna have very static with only information and only the about stuff. So let's see if we actually have something from our design which can look like the about page. No, we don't. Or do we have something here? No, this is the home page. This is what we have now, this part. So, oh well, nothing new. So yeah. Mr. Brown is saying because it can be used. So I asked if you ask it for a reason, and your answer is because it can be used instead of the Context API for state management. Yeah, but again, as far as I remember, Context API is built-in in React, and you can just use it there. Isn't it? I think it is. And Apollo client is something on top of it that you're going to be adding. So I would personally not want to do that, especially since we already said that we're going to be using Context API, and that's we're gonna stick to that promise. So how to design landing pages. So this template is all right. So we're gonna have something like this. Let's then put maybe first our logo, big and happy and amazing, so everybody can see it. What's that? It's our... What was the name of our logo? Yes, Context API using managed state like Redux. Yeah. Amanda says, hola. Hola, Amanda. How are you? Branding. That's what I'm searching for. Yes. So what do we have here? We have a text. All right. Brand link it is. Let's put here the brand link. Don't forget to import it from components/brand link. There we go. And if we go to our page, we should see our Welly. Yes. But I want Welly to be big for everything. Hey, Elias, how are you? Hello, hello. So our brand link, as I remember, yeah, we're passing classes. And I actually remember that in one place I said that don't do classes, do class names. So I think, okay, no, we're not gonna rename that because we're using brand link somewhere else and it's probably gonna break it. So let's just pass classes here. And I want actually to pass a bigger class for the text. So it'll be like this. And well, actually don't need that because it's a string. I'm gonna pass text. What was that? 2XL. Let's do 4XL. There we go. You see? So how it worked in the brand link. So I said that we're passing a prop, right? But we also have here text 2XL. Since this one is like on the first, I think that's how, unless they change something, them I mean Tailwind CSS. Unless they change something, we have here the text 2XL, and then after that we have another class. So my assumption is that this class overrides it, and it's not because it's bigger. Like if I would put here 6, no, it will. So maybe it is because it's bigger. Cool. That's what we found out how Tailwind works. Anyhow, we have our Welly, and you know how here we have many places where we have this circle around? Maybe we can add this circle also to our brand name in the about. So first, I would like to, what do I would want to? Okay, first let's fix the circle because I'm already like in my head jumping ahead. So where do we have this? We have it in benefits. Where are benefits? There they are, and we have benefits item, And each benefits item has this circle, and that's what's giving us the circle. What else can it give us? Nothing. Okay, where was I? I was in the about, and I'm gonna close all the other ones, close others, so we could do this peacefully. All right, so now this one needs to have a class name of relative, because you see this circle has a position absolute. So it goes to the first element that has a position relative, and by default, our document has a position relative. So it goes like to the very, very big parent of the DOM, so the body, but we actually want it to be relative to this link. So what we can do is the wrapper that we have here, that's gonna be the relative position, the relative container. So see, now it moved down, because if we inspect it, let me put the console at the, not the console, the inspector at the bottom. If we inspect it, then you see the div.relative, that's the borders of the div.relative. It starts from a little bit below the navbar, and that's where we want the circle to be. Now I actually want to move this chunk, so this whole thing, I want to move it a little bit more to the center, you know, to make it a little bit different than what we have. Or maybe it's not going to be so on brand, but we're going to check. For sure, I want to add some paddings and some margins to kind of like play with the position of it. Amanda is asking why the footer there. The footer is there only because we still don't have content to push the footer down. So previously we would have like we would set a height on this div. So let me show you. If I add height, height screen, so it takes the whole height of the screen, then it pushes the footer down. But we removed it because now we're gonna add content to the page, and the footer is gonna be pushed automatically because it has content. So we need to move this bud. Where are we gonna move it? So let's refresh. Yeah, I want to give it, which Tailwind CSS do we have properties? Because like last time we found out massively important properties, and maybe there are more. So we don't need that. So we need something from core concepts, now customization, base styles, what's that? Okay, container, display floats, position is gonna be specific position, we don't need that. Okay, never mind, let's do it ourselves. We're gonna do some padding. Why? So I want it only vertically. Okay, so you see when I actually add it, then also my circle stays there. So it will be, or I need to apply to the circle as well, or I suspect if I add a margin, then that's not gonna be the case. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go with this. So margin Y 20, and then margin X is gonna be auto, I don't know what was that, auto, which didn't do a thing, and I'm wondering why. Next auto should center it. You can set absolute and just specify top and right values in classes. Yes, that's true, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather it follow the the text. Of course you can add it. Of course you can always change it. I just didn't feel like, because of the padding, to need to do that. So this is also kind of like the thing that, I don't know, things that you need to consider when you're developing. It's not that the world is going to crash if you're going to do one way or another, but I think it's like in the long run, if you're being more simple with that and not needing to overwrite things, then I think that's easier, especially if you work in a bigger code base, you know, things depend on each other. And if you just do like margin and everything like stays together, because already adding relative and absolute can be tricky sometimes. So just like keeping it as simple as possible and not allowing the absolute element go and play around with the page. Personal opinion, but I would go with that. Then maybe we can also make the circle bigger. What did we achieve with that? I don't know. Let's do 15. You can do margin bottom minus 50 pixels. For what? To push down what? Which one? Where did you disappear? There is no such thing as width 10 and height 10. What did I do? There it is. Okay, maybe there is not such thing. To push down the footer, but we don't need to push down the footer. The footer is going to be pushed down by the content. You'll see. So you know what I mean? Like if I'm going to add here a p tag and with like, let me show you what I mean. So look, added tons of paragraphs and now they're here and now my footer is down. You know, so you don't need to actually modify the footer. There we go. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Absolute takes element out of the document, normal flow. Yeah, so it can cause layout problems. Exactly. That's why I would not want to go and also define the tops and stuff, because if I can just move it and attach it to the same corner of the text, I'll be very happy with this solution, and I don't need to take care of it like floating somewhere where I don't want it to float. So, I think this one's all right. I wouldn't add something like something bigger or something. I don't know. I really don't know where I'm going with this brand thing. Seriously, not sure about it. Here I said I'm gonna do a margin Y 20. There we go. Not really happy about it, I'm gonna admit, but it is what it is, I guess. Let's move forward. We said that we want to have some company info. So if we look at this design, you see that there is like a green section and then this thing and then another green. So I would like to have something like that is kind of like dividing the page. And I think that I'm gonna start by having the company info in maybe a gray box. So would anybody guess why this is red now? And why it's now complaining? Any guesses? Fragment. Yes, you're right. Because in any React component, you cannot have two, or you cannot have one more than one element that is a parent component. What am I saying? You cannot have more than one element that is not, they're not wrapped in one. Does that make sense what I'm saying? It does make sense in my head because I know what I mean, but I don't think I'm delivering the sense. So what I mean basically is that you have to have a wrapper in order to have one element to deliver as a component. I think that was a better explanation. And one of the cases is to have fragment, because fragment is not messing up with your layout. So fragment, there we go. And this one we said, or I said, that is going to have a background. Where was one of ours? Dark gray or light gray? Let's do light gray. And let's do the P with the lorem placeholder. And let's see what we get. What about dark gray? Is that better? Let me check if the reading is okay. Yeah, so the contrast is fine. Okay. You can do the same with, yes, you can. You don't have to use fragment. You can also do it like this. Although not in every version of React, only in some of the latest ones. But I still prefer the fragment. I think it's nice and I really like it. I don't know, like, I don't think I can say specifically why, but it's just, you know, personal preferences. I guess, let's call them like that. So, let me move the microphone. You hear me well, right? What do I want to do now? Let's find, let's go to Douglas. I think I showed you Douglas already last time. That's another famous, very famous shop in Germany. Where do they have their about? There's probably no such thing, right? You see the imprint, that's impressum. Have to have it in Germany. And this is what I want kind of also, well, this we actually have. But what, there we go, Ubuntu. About us, corporate.douglas.de. So, see, image of happy people. I told you, some numbers. There we go. Some articles. This is like the most basic stuff that you can put in like in the about page, right? Oh, and social media, of course. Okay. Forgot the social media. Hey Raja, how are you? Happy to see you here. What is up? So yeah, and of course they have like a big banner, which we don't, but you get the point. So we're gonna copy this shamelessly, but we are going to change it, and we're gonna put Welly everywhere where we have a Douglas occurrence. Welly? Oh wait, no, I need the English one. There we go. There we go. Awesome. So, Welly, save it. Why doesn't like? How play? What? Yeah. Some hashtags. Alrighty. Very beautiful, if you ask me. Now we need some formatting. So first, the formatting that we can do is by adding another paragraph tag here. So this one moves up, just swap them with positions. I'm great paying my MongoDB invoices, lol. No, really? Wait. Do you really pay MongoDB invoices? Like for using their special software, probably, right? Gigi saying, I'd like to see you adding some scroll effects to the site, like that logo scaling in relation to scroll. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could do that, although we don't have We don't have a use case for that. But this is, as far as I know, this is achieved by a parallax effect. So once you're scrolling, things are moving. There are libraries for that actually. So it's, I think if you do it with a library, it's like super easy and fast. But yeah, also depends on the device you're using actually. What is this company profile? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this might be too much, right? We're fine with just this part, but we need to make it nicer. So, class name, margin bottom 10. Why do you select everything? No. That's a lot. Let's put 4. Now this can have a padding Y of 10 maybe. That's all right. And padding X also of 10. Let's make it a little bit bigger to see how it works. No, padding should be... Is it gonna work with this MX auto or not again? No. Do I need to do an MX 10? Yeah, it complains because I have 2 of them. Oh, I'm not applying it correct. Wait a second. I think the MX should be here. Along with the width, right? Because otherwise... Let's do a width of 10, just so you see. Now it's MX. Okay. That was my bad for not using it properly. Happens. Half. Maybe 2/3. So what I'm doing now is I'm applying a width to the paragraph. So this way, the MX auto class can also be applied. What it does is basically it gives an equal margins on the sides. It's an equivalent when you write margin 0 auto. You know, it's a pretty common thing when you write in CSS to center things like simply. So that's what we did here. So this we can or take it and repeat it in the other paragraph, or we can add another div and add it as a class to it. Why did we need another div? It's because we have a background to our parent div, and if we're going to add margins to it, I think you actually saw it, it moved also the color of it. So in order to kind of like have the color, you need to add the margin to the element that is inside, because otherwise yeah, it's gonna move your background thing, if that makes sense, which I think it does. So when it's bigger, it's like that. Is it super beautiful? I wouldn't say, but is it working? It does. Let's see, text, color, or text. What can we do? Maybe we can do text justify. Maybe that can help a little bit. Although I read that doing a text justify, it's actually not a very good UX practice, because then you kind of don't have... No, sorry, not text justify, text center. So forget what I said. Text justify looks actually pretty good to me. Let's add it here. Yeah, nice. Shall we maybe put like the hashtags in bold, because that can be nicer, right? Let's do a span. And with a class name of text Wait, font bold. I don't know if my font supports bold. Is that really bold? That doesn't look bold to me. Look, this is bold, this is without bold. Wait a second, which bold font do we have? I recall adding it to, was that to our index HTML? Was it here? Yes, so we have our Poppins and Corona and Poppins. So we're gonna do, I already forgot which is which. Which font is that? That's Poppins and that's Corona. So we're gonna apply the text Corona. Ah, I remember now. We didn't go with like widths of text necessarily, but we did go with, we didn't go with the weight of the font, but we did go with two different fonts. So one of them is bolder than the other. See, that's what I don't like. Like you write it once, it remembers to give you the suggestions and then forgets. So where is text Poppins? No, font. See what it again? Font Corona. That's what I wanted. Very good. Cool. And now here the same. Right? Yeah. It's okay. Extension name. David, you mean the extension for the classes? Wait. What is giving me this big space here? Or that's just the wording? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yes, let me show you. So go to my extensions, installed. It's Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. That's what helps to get all the classes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tired can you see that I am? When English is not English, it's a sign. So, thank you, no problem. Let's put here a space. Yep, cool. This one also should have a space. Yeah, why is this capitalized? Is it supposed to be like that? Forward UT. I don't like it being capital letters, so let's do transform to lowercase. There we go. Okay, but this I can leave. But the gray color is kind of depressing, I think, especially if you want to talk about company, you want to kind of like, I don't know, inspire people. Unless you're in a business of not inspiring people, which it's if your market is different, then I understand. But if it's BG yellow, it's not bad. Looks a little bit like a bee. You know, there is like this Russian beeline brand. Is it a Russian one? No, I remember it was there. Let me check. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. So that's how it looks like right now. But we're gonna fix it, right? Eventually it's not gonna look like that. Or maybe it will, who knows? place your bets. So we have this part. Still don't know what to do with this beauty here, but you know, one step at a time. What else did I say we wanted to do? So company info. Oh, numbers or facts. Awesome. Let's do that. I think Douglas also had some numbers. Where were they? There we go. Amazing. Facts and figures like we want them. Oh, we found a little buggy bug. Look at this. A buggy bug. Oh, wait, what? They just didn't put it on the top, I guess. Anyhow. Shall we also do... This kind of like reminds me my portfolio because I have very distantly reminding me of my portfolio. If you're gonna check it, you probably won't see what I mean. But it has like a title, and then it has a section, and then another title, and then a section. So we're gonna do the same. Yes, we will. It's gonna be a white color because you want to kind of like keep consistent the beeline, right? So we don't need to add any special background color because that's our default. And then we're gonna have an H4, I would say, with... Actually, maybe we don't even need the H4. We could just have our facts and figures. I'm just gonna write it here, facts and figures. And what we can have is, this is gonna be a little component, right? Also this, we should move it to its own component, but one step at a time. However, for the facts, we could probably create our own component. So let's go to our... or before we do that, let's mimic what our component is gonna get. It's gonna be called a fact or fact number. I don't know. And then it's gonna have an icon. It's gonna have a number. A number. And it's gonna have a title and description, right? Cool. So we take that, or no, don't copy that yet. We go to our components and we create a new folder, which is called fact number. Inside of it, create an index.js, and I have my hotkey shortcut, whatever that's called, to import export something by default. And I'm gonna be doing the fact number, save it, and now create the fact number.jsx. And here I have another one, RCC, creates a React component, boilerplate code, and also fact number. So now whatever I copied, I'm gonna pass it here. And don't forget let me close the number. The colons, not the colons. What are those called? Commas. Those are the ones. And now what we're gonna have, a div. Yeah, probably a div. Then we're gonna have our icon. Not sure how we're gonna do that, but we're gonna have the icon. And then we're going to have a div, right? Because we have like our icon and then we have several things going on. So it's like already two columns, sort of. When we do that, this is also on the top, and then we have this. So it's gonna work. It's good if we divide it right now into icon and a div. And then inside of it, we're gonna have the number in H2, gonna be the number. Then an H4 can be our title, and then a P tag can be our description. There we go. Save it. And now in the about, let's import our fact number. Fact number. And in here we can pass, for example, icon people, because right now we still don't have any icons. So I'm just passing a string to see that it works. Number can be 20,000. Title can be beauty experts. Where am I getting this? I have no idea. Experts, and the description can be whatever they say. Also, another question, should there be a dot here or not? Believe it or not, we had a massive topic at work if that should be with a dot or not. I still think it shouldn't be, but the dot has won over me. I think in German you have to have it, in English you don't have to have it, and maybe that's why Douglas has it, because it is a German website. So maybe that's why. Maybe they just translate this part. And I would understand that you would not check to have a dot or not to have a dot just based on your language. Unless you're a linguistic website or something like that. People probably wouldn't even notice that. And especially I think when it's when you're working in a market that has its own language that it's using, that it's not English, for example, then they tend to care more about the customers that speak that language rather than catering for the others who speak other languages. That's just what I noticed, actually. Right. I didn't notice that. I was drinking very closely to the mic, so I'm sorry if you heard all of that. So, icons. How are we gonna do it? Let's put people. There's no people. But the person. What? Wait a second. Maybe it's under user. There we go, user group. Copy SVG. We're gonna do the same as we did in benefits, since we know that we're gonna have only 3 icons. We're just gonna do it like that. So, no, we're gonna do it in another way. Let me show you how you can have a component instead of a component in the same file. So const icon. We're gonna pass icon. So you're just creating another React component, functional component, and we're gonna put here an SVG. And we can say if icon equals people and have this icon then. Why we don't like? Nested block is redundant. Yes, for now, but we know what's coming. It's not gonna be redundant in just a second. So, money, but in icons language, that's probably a database. There we go. Is it money or is it a database? Who knows? So icon equals coins, not money, right? You're gonna do this. Nested block is redundant. What are you talking about? Why don't I have a return like this? Oops, that's my eye drops. Wait a second. Why are you erroring on me right now? What is happening here? What did I do wrong again? Const icon, return. You don't want the return? We can do it like this. Hi Sahin, how are you? Is it again something stupid I cannot see? Am I late? Well, we're streaming already for like an hour, but you're welcome to join. Why is that not working? Why? Expected a comma. The parser expected to find too much the well, then why? Okay, maybe I need to do it in such a way that I'm gonna do if icon this, oh come on, then return this, and then this I don't need. What am I doing? Yeah, you do need that. There we go, like that. Okay, so now this is redundant. Okay. So we have, if it's coins, then return like, oh, I already have that. Okay, figure that out. What was the other one? We're probably not gonna get it here. Tube. No. Beauty and lifestyle products. What about shop maybe? Yeah, let's do that. If icon equals shop, then return this. So this, as you can see, it's an icon. I'm gonna close it up now. So you see that we have one component inside of another component. You could move it to another file, or you can just keep it here. Sometimes we do keep things here because if you're using them just there, and let's say it's a very temporary code, then you don't want to like bloat the code base and have it in different places and many dependencies. So you're just like keeping everything in one file. That also happens, my friends. That also happens. So I want to use the icon, and the way you use it is just like as a simple React component. The main idea, or like the main thing that you need to remember, is that you have to capitalize the name of the function. So the name of your component, because if that would be just icon, you see even the syntax doesn't recognize that it's a React component. So, and the icon is gonna be icon. Icon. Here we go. Let's see if we're getting something. Yay, there we go. We got it. So for simplicity, we can just do boom, boom, boom. Or we could take this data and get it from somewhere. But let's get that first. 3.2. Nice. 3.2 billion euros. Not bad. And like this. Oh yeah, remove the freaking dot. I'm gonna have dot in my project. And then this one was what? What did I just create? It was people, coins, or shop. So coins, I think it's better to name it revenue. Although an icon for revenue must be quite weird, but we are the ones who set the rules here, so we're okay. And what was the other one? The other one was shop. Have you tried box icons before? What are the box icons? Is that box icons? No, that's hero icons. No, I haven't tried them. Are they good? So 130,000. Go. Beauty and lifestyle products. Also, why is this like lowercase and this is uppercase? Somebody didn't QA. Care products. Right. Care products. Because we care about you. I'm gonna actually write it because we care about you. Okay, so now it's because we care about you in online shops, the beauty marketplace, and in 2000 stores. Actually sounds not good, not bad, right? There we go. I think so. Well, wait, why did it stop doing like the wrap? Where's the wrapping? On. There we go, now it's better. Is it? Still not wrapping. Ah, that's the diff editor, sorry. That's the word editor. On. Interesting, why? Suddenly it wrapped, right? Okay, should be better now. So, because we care about you in online shops, the beauty marketplace, and in 2000 stores. Solid. Okay. So there are our 3 beauties. And now we need to style them. So first, the styling is gonna go in the parent component of them. And it's gonna be flex. Beautiful. It's gonna also have a margin X of 10. Yep. And as we found out last time, it's gonna be space X is the 4. So what it does, it adds an even space between the elements. I want 10. Or maybe I want 4, and I'm gonna stop it now because I need to first add all the other design that I want. So this, we're gonna make it much bigger. Let's do it 20, 20. It's not that nice. What if the stroke width is gonna be 1? Yeah, that's better. So in SVGs, you also have control over the width of the line to make it thicker or thinner. So for example, if you want to have the people thicker, you can do 4. I'm not gonna understand what's the icon about, but it's possible. Yeah, I like it like this. And I also, why is there this ridiculous space? Because I did it and it still understands it? No. Probably understood the height, right? Yeah. Let's play around with the color of it. That's how I decide on colors. I just like brrrr. So indigo has nothing to do with our theme. Green, I don't know. What about our dark gray? Where is our light gray? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, okay, fine. It can be black. Doesn't matter. Now, so you know what does matter? I think they're a little bit too big. Are they? Okay, first text. Stay focused. So why is this an H2 and it's small as hell? Don't understand this. So text. Is the e-commerce playlist sequenced correctly? I need to watch them from start in order to understand this. Yes, they are. And I always add in the title the part number, so you can check it with that. But it should be sequenced correctly. And thank you for checking them. So class name is this. Yeah. Shall we do a font Krona? Maybe this one then is 3. And then the icons can be smaller. What if it's 10 as it was before? Yeah, that's too small. 15. It feels like nothing changed. Excuse me. Could you explain to me how is 10 is small, 20 is small, and 15 is gigantic? 25? It changes 1. So I change 1 and they all change? Something's shady going on. Okay. Here are the classes. H. Why is it H5? Is it not refreshing properly? Oh, okay. I see many more new things. Even the yellow didn't save. So, where's the yellow? Just a second, I have my washing machine going on crazy. I need to close the door. Just a sec. All right. It was you know, when you put like a very strong washing machine cycle and like your whole house is shaking. I don't know, maybe it's just my house. Could be. So, what are... Yeah, so I wanted to put back the yellow thing. Where are you? Here, yeah, it's background yellow. Oh, not to this one. It's to this one. Yeah. There we go. Cool. And now let's try and make this one. Again, H5. Where did you come from? And this is not saving. Is my Visual Studio Code again stuck? Oh no, I'm just not there. Rant, stand-ups should be quick and not enough. Yes, it should be illegal. Tell me more. What happened? Yeah, but I totally understand. And it's like, so actually, with my team, we do have longer stand-ups on Fridays because we just want to talk with each other if we have something to talk about. Because it's usually more chill on Friday, you can talk about whatever. But during the week, it's usually like, go for it, bye. Also because people have tons of meetings and they need to attend after that something else. So you can't really just be like a whole hour. And also you should not hold people a whole hour just if you're discussing something that is like, just create a separate meeting for that with an intention. Because otherwise it's kind of like, show what's happening. Are we done? Are we not? Are we still talking? But yeah, I agree. And also meetings should not be longer than they are. Like today I had a 6-hour meeting. My eyes hurt. So it's like, usually I have a break every 45 minutes, an hour, just like to look somewhere or something. But this time you had to be like super intensely concentrated all the time there. And we didn't adhere to breaks, or there were so many breaks. So that was really tough, which actually gives me a feedback I should give to the facilitator. Nailed it. Convo between two devs. Drag it out. Ugh. Yeah. In a previous company I used to work, we had like this dev that he was like on a special conditions there because of like some friendship or whatever. He was smart, he was talented, he was I don't know if talented is the right word. He was skilled, but he wouldn't show up much to work, to the office, which I don't know the reasons, like whatever, he can do whatever he wants. But when he would be in the stand-up, and that would take very, very, very long. Like a stand-up is there to share what you're doing, what's your progress, if you need help. And maybe the whoever manages the project can do like some readjustments to it if needed. But it's not about sharing your opinion about, I don't know, whatever it is. If you should use React or Vue, for example, that's not the spot. But back to websites. What's your procedure for deployment for personal projects? So that depends. If I have a couple of projects in Next.js, and for that I just use Vercel. So they have GitHub. What do you call it? Like a connection to GitHub that you give them. You allow them to connect to your profile, and whenever you push to master, it's being auto-deployed. Or I have, for example, for my website, I just use GitHub and the GitHub pages that they offer, which is also very simple. Push to master, deployed, bam. I don't do anything like continuous integration or something. For personal projects, I don't think you need that. Or at least I have not found the use case where you would need that. But maybe there are some specific moments where you do need, like releases, reverting, which I would assume with continuous integration might be easier to do that. Still might be an overkill to do that with that, right? Mr. Brown asking between... Oh wait, Hex Control says, gotcha. So basically no touching AWS, Azure, etc. No, I'm not a big fan of that. So I did have one freelance project where I didn't do, the backend developer did AWS. I'm in general not a big fan of them because of them. But yeah, it was an improvement, because when I did the backend and I was just like, I had like just like a 1 year experience of working. I built up the whole server myself. I just like set it up, secured it, added all the things needed, and like calls to the front end and stuff. But then when the experienced backend engineer came and added AWS and Lambda functions, then that was like so much simple and nicer, and no maintenance and nothing. So that was good. I guess if you're not using any of the services that are given to you and you need to do your own server stuff and setup, unless, so look, when I did it, I learned a ton. But it's also, I don't know, I think it's more expensive at the end of the day, because you actually need to pay for a server. And for example, in services like Vercel or GitHub Pages, you don't pay for that at all. Especially now with GitHub, you can just like deploy and deploy. But if you want to learn, then could be a good idea. But also AWS can be a good idea, or Azure, right, to learn. But I haven't done anything with them. They scare me with all these like special little remarks when you need to start paying for what, and I think they're pretty sneaky, which is not nice. So Mr. Brown asked, could have the about text inside of a flexbox too, or is it better to use margin and padding for text? The about text, so this one, right? So you could have a flex box, and you could do like a flex center thing, but you would still need to give it some spacing, because otherwise the flex is just gonna, because it's just paragraphs. So first of all, in our case, it's gonna put the 2 paragraphs next to each other, which we didn't want. But if we're using flex column, I think it would still keep it like on the sides. You would still need to add your own margins or paddings. So this way we kind of eliminated the use of the flex box and just did it with margins and paddings. So again, it's like my approach that I don't want to use anything like more and more. It's not necessarily complicating, but it's a little bit cluttering. Right? Because if you have the padding and if you have the margin that you can achieve with that, then in my opinion, go with those things. Don't add a flex box just to add like something, unless you really need it like center and you have several elements. But in our case, it's really just a column, and we don't even care about these things much. So just the margin and padding will be all right, But you could try it out with some flexbox to see how different it is to understand. So Pushpak is saying, how do you manage security in React apps since most of the code is sent to the client? Well, I don't think that it's an issue with React apps, right? So the most parts about security is not to store any secrets or anything on the client, so nothing that it should be publicly not publicly available, not to store it there. And also be very cautious with things that you get from an API output if that's not your API, and things that you receive from the user. And apart from that, it's all just code. Like, I don't think there is what would be like a scenario where you would worry about security, because there are many different types of security stuff. So in which direction were you thinking, Pushback? And I love the questions and the rants. I'm here for it. Just need to readjust on the chair. Okay. How do I want this to look like? I don't understand. How is H32 can be smaller than H15? What am I not getting here? What's the memo I'm missing? So 15 doesn't exist. Maybe that's why. Okay. Yeah, so there's like 20, 24, 28. I like 20 is nice. Let's do 20. Okay, I think in the first, when I did it like that, I said that I didn't like it, but I think it's alright. I think icons only support certain font size and font weight. Yeah, so the issue was that not the SVG. It's not necessarily just the icons. It's just that the class didn't exist. So we had to use something, because you see if I do here H1, there is no 15 on the list. There is 12, 14, and 16, but the 15 is missing. And I think that's why it just like went bonkers. So next, I think in the design that we have here, let me make it bigger, it's all centered. So maybe we can do the same. Because the whole, except of this Wally, but we're gonna move it to the center eventually, is that this landing page is gonna be all centered. And like in the regular one, we don't, like we do, but we also have a lot of elements that are in different spots. So in the about page, which we need to also link there, we're gonna have like this. So let's go to the fact number, and in here we're gonna do class name. You see that, right? Text center. Okay. So you see now that we have a text center, but it applied only to the text. And in this case, that's where we're gonna be using flex, because for text, you can use the paddings and margins and stuff in the text center, but not for this. So we're gonna do flex and flex column, because we do want to have our icon and then under the rest of the div. And we're gonna do, what is it? Align middle? Is that even a thing? No. Align center. Oh my god. Like, these classes confuse me. No, remove the center. What do we have here? Align. Justify. But because it's a column, it's not gonna work like this. Why are you kidding me? Wait a second. We used it a bazillions of times. Why I cannot like remember it for once? Align. And there we go, flexbox. Is it? Yeah, flex. I don't want, like, do I want self? Yeah. I think I do want the self. But the self doesn't want to. if I remove the flex column, what it's gonna do? So it does, no, it doesn't do anything. I think it just does the, I see. Okay, redundant in our case. Flex. What? No, why I cannot get it? Justify. Weird, 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 weird. So align items. Items. See, this is like, this is so confusing all this time. Oh, okay. Item center. And the thing is that now it doesn't align our text. So my assumption is that if we're going to do here text center, then it's going to solve the issue. Yes. All right. See, like I'm used to use Bootstrap, and there you have align items something, justify content something, but here the item center, it's like, where did the align go? Bring me back the align. Now I want to do like the beauty experts to put maybe also big or different. So we can do text. That's a little bit weird, right? Let's play with the font. Font. Semi-bold. Doesn't change anything, seriously. Could we keep it like that? Okay, what if we do keep this like this and this will remove? It all looks so blah. It's all the same. Like the whole width of every line is so alike that it's not appealing. We'll need to use some colors, I think. So what if we try text pink? No, green. Doesn't change anything. Gray, we have dark gray. Let's do dark gray. So we can do, let's do everything for dark gray. Now it kind of looks like it's disabled, right? What if we do... What is the name of the font? Which font? We are using one here and another one here. This one is Poppins and this one is Corona. You can see it here. Font Corona. And then the regular one is Poppins. We got it from Google Fonts for free. Okay, what I'm thinking is that maybe we actually want to change the color of this and just make it white. Maybe that's gonna be more appealing. So if we do this light gray, not this. No, we're gonna do, this is gonna be text white. Let's do white. And in our about page, our background is gonna be, let's try green. I don't like it. Light gray. Not readable at all. What about dark gray? Let's check the contrast. Contrast does not pass. Okay, that doesn't work for us. Did you see where I saw that the contrast doesn't pass? If I hover, you see I have the accessibility part and it has the contrast and it has 1.98 and the exclamation mark. That means that it's a no-no. Like, nope, cannot use that. Pink. Should this be the yellow? And this one is gonna be nothing. Hey Joseph, thanks for subscribing. Is that better? Contrast still not letting us move forward. So we're gonna do, actually I did this text white in the component itself, but that's not correct because it should come from the outside, I think. So now MX10 doesn't work, it needs to be a PX. See what I mean? You saw that? Good. Let's do P10. Okay. And then this maybe can be text small. Text extra small. But you're not able to read it. Well, actually, those things are probably not meant to be read properly, right? I should probably not be saying that, right? Because why would you otherwise put this text there? Maybe it's also... What if I change the margin bottom? No. Because like now everything is so alike and... Let's do a margin bottom of maybe 2 or 4. Yeah, okay. Margin bottom of 4 we are adding to the icon. In here. Of course, we could also pass it as a prop, but who has time for that? Since the icons are only being used there, then it's fine. Also, why is the 3.2 is like a, well, this probably symbolizes that it's like a big number, right? Those localizations. Okay, so what do I have here? I have font Corona. Okay, see, it's different because I didn't refresh the page and for some reason it doesn't. So there is a hot reload. So whenever I change something in the code, it changes it on the page. But if I also add something from the inspector, then it doesn't remove it. And that's how we end up in such lovely state. So font Corona, we're gonna do it here. So text center. What was that? That was weird. Font Corona is here. Ah, that's the number, sorry. Okay. So class name is font Corona. Okay. And this one is going to be text small or extra small. Does it even make a difference if I do it in H5 or in H4? Doesn't that? Weird. So this maybe can be text 2. Okay. H3, gonna change something? No. Put it back to 4, put this to 2. Do I have like italic? What am I even working with? What am I changing? This one? Nothing changes it. Look at this. Oh no, there was one here. Extra bold. Oh my, there's no difference there. This is a joke. Okay, what about text? Yes, we know it can be bigger. But what about different? So align. What was this? Transparent. Very useful. Why would you use a transparent text? Could you do like some cool effects that you have like a background on top and under the text is transparent and it's like it's see-through or something? Probably not, right? It's not looking super nice. I think we need to add different yeah, we'll need to make it responsive eventually, as everything in our app. But okay, what's next? So we got the number, the facts, the email. Oh, we don't have the image of happy people. Then we have articles to read. Then we have the imprint. Let's add the imprint. Maybe we don't need to go like full blown thing. Sorry, the English. Can I do Ian? Nope. What? Excuse me? So when I wanted to read about the company, that was in English, but now I want to read about where you're at and I can't. Okay, I guess we will just need to translate it. And now I don't get to translate. Translated. There we go. So let's finish this up. Oh, thank you, Aleftina. Last question, I promise. Oh no, don't do the last question. You can ask as many as you want. As a junior web developer, is it a bad thing to tell employer that it took me over a month to complete a project of this complexity rather than a week? No, I don't think. I actually think that telling the truth is appreciated more because... So, first I need to say that probably it depends who you're talking to, what they're looking for and what are their values, right? If there are people who don't understand, and there are many of them, who don't understand that a project takes ages. Thank you, Marcin. That a project takes ages, and especially if you're new to it, then that's a separate type of people. But in general, why I'm also showing you that it takes so much time to organize a project, find everything, put it up together, make it look nice. It's not a deal of like 2 days. Unless you have everything prepared, you have the experience to do that, and maybe then you're just like, but it's not going to take you a week. It's going to take you a week of probably sleepless nights to do that project. But normal people, they would appreciate you being upfront and saying that, hey, in my skill set, this is what I can deliver, and I estimate that I deliver it within a month. Why this is good? Because then your employer or future employer knows what to expect from you. They at least have a clear benchmark, like, okay, so this person is at this level, because they know you're a junior. You don't need to overpromise them that, oh, I can do that in a day. Like, that's not gonna happen. And they need to know that. Because if you have a proper planning, proper resources spent on also onboarding you and helping you out, and probably giving you a mentor or a senior who is gonna help you out in the beginning, then they need to know on which level you are. So by all means, okay, if you feel uncomfortable that you did it a month, maybe say that you did it 3 weeks. You know, like you can reduce if you feel that this is gonna be like important for some reason, but don't say that a project that took you a month you did in a week. That's like another exaggeration. Also, because they're gonna call you out on that. They're gonna figure out that this took longer and that you didn't do it in a week, and you know, it's gonna create just like a weird tension, I think. I wanted to say another thing. What was that? Oh yeah, so I told you, right, that I interview several people for the company, and like sometimes I'm even like reviewing CVs and everything. And you know, you get the sense when people are lying or on their CVs, because you're also a developer, you're not stupid. And you know how long things take. So if a person is telling you like, I don't know, something unimaginable, chances are 99% of the time that it's not true. And the issue is not only about the person saying not the truth, it also creates an impression that you don't know your own skills. You know, if you come to the employer and say, hey, I'm a junior, I need this amount of time to do this, but I will deliver it by this time, then this to me is much more valuable than a person who is going to get a task which he said or she said that are going to deliver in a week, but it took them a month. You know, because in a business, you have planning, you have feature release, you have resource allocation, you have so many things that are involved there that is just, it's gonna break the whole chain, and it's just gonna leave like not a so pleasant trail after that. So I think it's much better to say how much you spent on that. And as I said, if you're not feeling comfortable saying that it took you like a month, then say that it took you 3 weeks, you know, but, or something that took you half a year, say that it took you 4 months. Well, no, 4 months is a lot. 5 months, you know, kind of like it's a relative thing, but definitely don't oversell yourself, because it's going to be called out straight away. And by the people who don't know those things, like if you're talking to somebody who has no technical background, or maybe they're just starting their company and they just need a yes guy, maybe that's going to work with them, but chances are that something is going to go wrong eventually, you know? It's, as always, it depends on the situation, depends on your ambitions and what you want to do. But in my personal experience, it's better if you're clear about what takes what time. I think that's also one of the strengths and the skills that I also am still learning, to estimate how long something is going to take. Because again, as I said, there's a lot of planning going on in the business, and the developer part, which might seem a lot, it's not that big when it comes to like the whole operations that is also coming, you know, on the other side of it. Of course, the developer is the one who is delivering the feature and writing the feature, so the developer is important and is valuable, but also many other things depend on it. So it's important that everybody is more or less close to the reality of what it's going to take them. It crashed me when once I've been told that there is no way it took you a week to write a line of code. It took me a week to make it one line, and understand the code I was working on. Yeah, absolutely. I can understand that. See, that's why. So I also heard of one company that. So imagine you were a new person in that company, you were hired as a very junior, your first job, and the boss, who is like an ex-Microsofter, ex-Googler, although that was like complete bullshit eventually, gave you, so you're a JavaScript developer, web developer, and the boss came to you and gave you an app with a language that you never used, and just gave you like the repository and said, here's the task, needs to be done in 4 hours. And that person had to sit there until late at night and still didn't manage. And the only thing that the boss said was like, oof, you gotta hurry up. Like, you know, this is not gonna happen then. So this is kind of like toxic workspaces, toxic workplaces, where if somebody tells you like, oh, I cannot believe this took you, like, show them the middle finger and wish them all the best. Because like I seriously don't understand what people are what drives them to make such comments. Like, I mean, I guess I understand. It's more kind of like self-esteem of themselves, trying to put others down, and I don't know, but it's like massively stupid comments that make no sense. And as you said, Pundraker, I guess that's the pronunciation. The value that you actually understood the code was so much bigger that in further developments and in further features you would be able to use it, right? So just like this, oh, we have to deliver fast. I was like that myself, you know. You always think that you have to be like, you have to justify the cost that they hired you, that they took you and everything, but it's like things take time. And that's one of the things that you don't. So my previous boss, he used to say that education and learning on the job is growing your value, and is something that if you leave the company, it goes with you, you know? So companies actually should manage to keep their employees inside, because otherwise the people, they're taking the knowledge and leaving with the knowledge. And I guess that's another topic. But yeah, I absolutely don't like such comments. Unless, I don't know, you say that with a friends about like some stupid dev joke about centering div in CSS. But even then, like, cut the toxicity. Like, we don't need that, you know? Like, you know. Now I'm in charge of most of onboarding. Yay, very nice. So you cut the toxic people out. They don't get to ruin the new people, the newcomers. I'm trying to remember about the feature that I was working on, and I had no idea what I was doing. And there was a senior who was supposed to help me. But that senior, I don't think he was aware of my level. And we were working like in an open space, and when he was telling me like, oh, but you just need to do this, just, you know? And I was like, okay. So I didn't understand it. And eventually he kind of like started being like, what the hell, you're not understanding? And then he saw that I was just like, dude, calm down. So he kind of came and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. But there's like this idea that, you know, I don't know, you expect people to know everything and you expect them to be on the same level as you are, and then even blame them that you're not. So anyway, you know, probably rambling around. Hey Leonis, I'm fine. How are you doing? I'm quite tired, but I'm okay. The chat has started to talk, so I like that. Let me copy this imprint. What else can we include here? Well Incorporated, Welly Street 7-Eleven, 40235, Welland. You can reach us by email at service@welly.welly. Opening hours maybe for an online shop. Our deliveries go out every Sunday evening, so you can get them as early in the week as possible. This is probably not something you included in Imprint, but whatever. Now let's do the space thing. Class name is gonna be space y4. Boom, that's too big too. Yeah, and well, no, don't like it. I want to add first an h4 imprint. Yeah. Class name is going to be font Creona. Yeah, that's all right. Let's center that thing. Okay. I think this can be the same paragraph. Okay, and the width should be 2/3. And MX auto. There we go. MY can be 20. Yep. Nice. Nice. And the H4 can also have a margin bottom of 4. Awesome. And honestly, I think that's it for the about page. What do you think? So we should also have a thingy here. Where did I do this? Width 2/3. So I'm gonna do the width 2/3 here as well. So I will need to have then Hello, Amr. Oop, that's my eye drops. So if I want to do 2/3, I would need to take out the background yellow to another outside div, as we already know. And this we can do, wait, I went too far. This one, right? Yep. So now in here I can apply the width 2/3. And then MX auto, as I said before, with I don't know what accent that was, but that's what it is. Maybe it can be 3/4. 3/4. Sorry if that was painful for your ears. All right, so now this MY10. No, PY. Okay. And I also think that I want the text not to be so long. And I'm gonna change it here in the description. And I'm gonna have a width of 5/6. And of course, would text center work here? No, this needs an MX auto. but it's not the same width, I think. Yeah, it's not. What's happening there? So the first one seems all right, and then the other one has some space on the left, and the other one also has some space on the left. What's happening up there? This one has the space, and this one has the space. Maybe I don't need that space. So it's this one, right? Why the card is still freaking big? So you see, why is this? Like, look, this is 258 in the width, and this one is 358. That's like major. I don't understand, because I thought that the columns, they divided. Thank you, Diego, for the subscription. I thought that the columns should make it, well, no, that's not true. They don't make things equal. They just divide it in like, whatever. It's not even columns, it's just flex, right? So, why is this so huge? Because it has the same amount of like paddings and margins. Is it because the text is long? If we remove the 2000, for example? Yeah, okay. So because we care about you in online shops, the marketplace, and in stores. In online shops and in stores. My beautiful sentence got shortened. Okay, so now 3, 3. So does Tailwind has width of children? No. Hi, Joe. Flex width. Ugh. Sizing. Let's go to sizing. Width. Okay. I want to have something that is going to make all the children the same width. Should I do this on every child? That could be a thing, right? I don't know if it's gonna take into account that the children are in a div or not, but let's try. So let me remove. Hi Dana, hey Venkata, how are you? Let me, where are we? Here? Let's remove this just, or no, I'm not gonna remove it. So, fax number, save. There we go. Okay. We just had to define the width of it. It was no biggie, like I thought. Cool. Let's move the welly babes somewhere. So I want to put this as width half. And then MX auto should work, right? Yes. And if I do text center, it's just gonna send, yeah, but the thingy is gonna stay there, which is not what we want. Thus, we're gonna use Flexbox. No. We're not gonna use Flexbox because that's just gonna mess up with everything. Although we could have, doesn't it work like this? Yeah. We could have another wrapper. And in here we can do items center. Or not. Why we cannot? So we have this flex. Let me remove these ones. Yeah, cool. Doesn't do anything. So what did I bring myself to? What have I created here? Item center means that it probably put them in the center or not, because that might be the margin Y. Let's remove the margin Y and see what happens. Okay. We keep margin Y. Or actually we can do an H20. I like the margin Y. So I reverted it a little bit. Let's see what we have. We have our div, which I said items center, which I'm not sure if it's doing anything. Yeah, item center didn't do anything. But justify center should do, but it doesn't. Why? Because it has all of this. So probably the width of a half is not. Oh. Yeah, the width was not. Oh. Sometimes it's easier than we think. So I want maybe to have it bigger. Yeah, 6 is alright. And then this one can be H24 and width 24. Weird, so not that big probably. But just let me remember, what did I do here? Here I remove the width, save it. Okay, and in here let's do 16, because I remember we had 16. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wait. 6, that's what we want, right? Maybe 14 would do better, because I feel like now the circle is bigger. Yeah, I think that's nicer. We go here, but in our case we have it more moved, so let's move it. Let's move the brand link a little bit with a margin to the right. So I'm going to margin left 4. Yeah, 6. Five is actually nice. Yay! And there we go. That's our about page. Beautiful page. Let's do responsive for this part. Where is it? Here it is. So the responsive is gonna be so we're gonna do flex column, but once the screen is medium, it's gonna be flex row. There we go. And it needs to have then space Y4, and medium is gonna have space y0. So we reset it once it's medium again. Let's add maybe 10. Would that be too much? No, that's all right. And what we also want to have is, so this is our width for medium. And for medium, we want to have MX auto or not. No. And regular width is going to be what? 10? No. Width full. Wait a second, because we have a 1/3 here. Oh, wait. This is actually not from here. This is from the fact number. This needs to be in the medium, and otherwise it's with full. There we go. Boom, boom. Stunning. We also fixed the footer last time, so we have it beautiful here. And the rest should be responsive by default. Like the font here, this stuff. Awesome. Let's grow it bigger. Boom. Amazing! Yay! What do you think? What do you think? Perfect, right? I really like creating those pages when you have everything working. When you have the you know, a yellow thing here, or you have basically like chunks and they're visually separated, so you don't necessarily need to think about the content itself. It can be whatever you want, kind of, because you have those chunks with it. I don't know if it's still working. Let me see if it's still up. Yeah, that's a website I did. Super proud. And you see I have like this kind of stuff. Then I have those numbers that are moving. And you see I have like the chunks, and they're very, very nice in my opinion. You have this like super animation. But yeah, okay. Have the arrow up. Then I don't know if the blog is there. Yeah, they have some stuff in the blog. Have the little cute arrow. So that's what I meant by like, there we go. You see, you have like the chunks, and they kind of divide visually the things. So here it was like a design from them. But yeah. So in comparison, you see we have here, this is also sort of like separated, but I think that it's more visually appealing, at least to me, when you have like this kind of stuff instead of like, you know what I mean? That you have like this separation and this separation, so like your eye can get like more focused on things. Then there's the donate, which I'm super proud. There was no donation, so that's why we cannot see anything. But yeah, that was my first and last freelance project. Never again. Hey, hello, hello. So we did the responsive, we have the about, and now we can talk about what's gonna happen next time. Oh no, wait a second. We still need to link our about to, it does link. Oh, nice. Yeah, you can create all of those ones if you want. If you want, you can do them in the app. We have routes, and you can create your pages with the route that you want, and you can just put it there, you know, and then you're gonna have like a full-blown website. But since those pages are most likely static, we're gonna focus on the ones that are not. So that was like our only static page, and by static I mean that we don't fetch any data. We're just displaying static content that doesn't change dependent on anything. Basically, we just hard-coded it in the code. In the homepage, we do have some information that comes from the API, like this one, and the rest is also static. And then we're gonna have our search page, which is so far nothing, but it's gonna be like this beauty here, with filters, with a banner, which I need to prepare, or we can reuse the same one. Are they reusing the same one? No. Here with like selections of stuff and, you know, cool things. And then at the end, we're gonna add also the shopping cart, and that's gonna be the one that is gonna have a state for us. So exciting times. We're a little bit advancing. The search one is gonna have a lot of JavaScript, a lot with a lot of like methods, sorting here, there, blah, blah. So definitely check it out once I'm streaming it, or once it's recorded. Check it out also in recording, because in my opinion, that's where your JavaScript knowledge kind of grows. When you see how you can code, how you can use the advantage of whatever JavaScript is giving us. We're also gonna learn about how, like, what's the difference between what we want JavaScript or in general the computer to give us, and the difference between what we're actually getting. That's a pitfall that happens quite often, because you're asking for something and then you're getting something else, and you're like, but I'm asking this, and then they're like, no, babe, you're not. Shubham is saying it would be great if you make a video for Mern Stack e-commerce project. Yeah, we could do that as well. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm just being lazy to like set up MongoDB and then Node and everything, and it's just like with React is so much simple because you're just doing like client-side front-end things. But yeah, I guess we could do one day if I get like an idea of a good project. Yeah, or maybe since it's a bigger one, maybe I could record it as well, like an edited video, I mean. But we'll see. We're just starting out, right? So, my dearest friends, internet friends, I'm gonna wrap it up here. It was a pleasure having you here, and thank you so much for all the questions. I always enjoy reading them and asking, how are you? and answering the questions. Next stream is probably going to be in a while. I'm going to take another break because I really need it. Work is going to get crazy. And I need the 2 weeks to focus on work, focus on my visa. And visa actually going to be in 3 weeks. So in the meanwhile, I hope you have enough videos to kind of like create your portfolio if you need, to practice the skills that you need. Also, don't forget about this cutie pie here, the Ultimate API Challenge, where you can also practice not only React, but also just HTML, CSS, vanilla JavaScript, jQuery also if you need it, and even JavaScript classes. Also, I have a GraphQL, so yeah, you know the drill. Check it out, the Ultimate API Challenge, if you need like some extra projects that you want to put in your portfolio. And I'm still not streaming. And as I said, I probably am gonna release in between another challenge, and hope to see your reaction to it and if you enjoy it. So thanks so much for joining, watching, coding along, asking everything. As always, I really appreciate it, and I enjoy being with you here. So gonna wish you a good day, evening, night, wherever you are. Stay safe. See you next time. I'll update probably the community tab and tell you when I'm gonna stream once I know more. Stay safe. Bye.